Oh, oh, my gorilla found a mirror. What is he gonna do with it? And he mirrored a white branch item. What's any dips? What's going on, guys? It's the GamingWaad back for another crafting video in 3.26, and today we are here to craft the two-handed axe used in all the melee builds / volcanic fissure of snaking. In today's video, I'm going to show you how to craft an axe similar to mine that goes for 50 plus divines. So just as a point of reference, if I were to put my attack speed, my Fizz DPS, and just 6% increase attack charge per endurance, which is the craft level, you would see 60 divines, 85 divines, and 300 divines. But I'm going to label it for today's video as 50 plus divines. If we were to add Culling Strike, 50, 60, 65, Culling Strike, and endurance charge, none of them exist right now because mine is not an ethical craft, but I will show you guys how to do it the proper way. Let's get started. First off, you're going to need a lot of axe bases. Vaal Axes, to be specific. Vaal Axes have the highest physical damage out of all the axes in the game, so that is going to be your base. Either buy a lot of eye level 83 plus Vaal Axes, or farm them yourself if you're working towards this craft. So the first step you want to do, guys, is Alteration Spam. I actually tried to film this video already, but the mic sounded like ass, so I kind of wasted all my alteration. But what you want to do is roll for flat fizz, flaring, or tier 2, which is the add 44 to 81 fizz, and you want to go for hybrid percent, which is, for example, on my axe, the Emperor's, which is tier 2 fizz damage and accuracy. You want to roll both of those mods on the axes using alterations. The way you don't skip over it is you use a REGEX. So PoE REGEX just added a beta for magic item REGEX, so I added this here. I will paste this in the description of the video in case this is confusing to you. This is all the roles you want to go for. You just press copy, or you copy it from the video, and we'll go here and we'll paste, and boom. So this one already has tier 1 flaring, so we're good here. But if we were to roll these ones, let me just grab some of these. If we were to roll these ones, we would just do this, and then we would go back and forth until we hit the mod, and maybe we can hit it. Oh, and we hit it. We hit tier 2. Okay, so with what I have left, so that's exactly how it would go. So once you have one of each, so tier 2 and above, I would settle for your tier 1, tier 2, tier 2. They don't make too much of a difference, but it's up to you how rich you are and how much you want to essentially go for your build. So I'll leave that up to you guys. I would be happy with this, as that's exactly what I settled for, tier 2, tier 1. Then you want to go to your recombinators, of course, and this is where just RNG kicks in. And you want to just slam these two together and prage that you get a rare axe. So we're going to do the original way. It does cost a lot of dust, so make sure you start dispensing uniques in King's March to save up, because this doesn't usually hit first try. So let's go. And once again, didn't hit first try, but it saved the better of the two mods. So we would go back here. We would grab, for example, another axe. Let's say this one had the percent. The percent, we would come back here. We would go again. We would recomp. And we missed again. And we actually lost a good mod. So it's a trial and error phase. This is gonna take you 1 to 2,000 alterations on average, but eventually you will hit a base that has the tier 1 or tier 2 hybrid and tier 1 or tier 2 flat, and from there we're gonna go to Craft of Exile to finish the craft. So here we have it. Let's say you get to this step right here. Let me zoom in a bit. Let's say you get to this step here. Most likely you're gonna end up with an additional mod. If you have an additional suffix, just one, you could proceed to the next step. If you have 2 suffixes, you're gonna need a clear board. So what you would do is you would craft suffixes cannot be changed, and you would scouring it in order to, you would craft, I always confuse these. You would craft prefixes cannot be changed, all right? And then you would scour. Once again, This is only required if you have 2 suffix mods. If you just have one, like I have in this demo with Dex, you're good to go to the next step. Now, I'm going to show you guys 2 ways of doing this. The cheaper method, aka the more risky method, or the safer, more expensive method. So let's start with the cheaper method, the one that I used. You're going to want to use a Veiled Chaos Orb here. So the Veiled Chaos Orb is only 5C, but the reason why I say it's risky is because it can fill up your suffixes and potentially break your item. So we're going to hit it right here. And it actually did exactly as I said. It bricked the item. So we would unveil here, right? We would have to annul and hope we hit a suffix, which we did. So here we would be saved, but we actually got the prefixes filled. So this is kind of mess. This one is kind of GG. Unless we can hit off the right prefix, no. So here we would have to start over and go to the beginning. So let's go one more time. Wow, it filled up again. So this is more likely. This is what happened with mine. The first axe I made, it actually just gave me a suffix and it filled the veiled prefix and I was able to unveil. But as you can see, this method is not guaranteed. You can fill up your suffixes. This one, it worked again. So we're 2 for 2 right now. This one is like the most likely the outcome, where you hit a veiled suffix and you just have to unveil, clean your board again with suffixes cannot be changed, prefixes cannot be changed. You would have to scour and boom, you would start over, prefixes cannot be changed, and we would go from there. So like I said, this is more of the risky method. It worked again this time. We're 3 and 3. It's up to you. Prefixes cannot be changed is 2 div a pop, but the veiled orb is only 5C. So it really depends on your budget and your risk tolerance. If you wanted the safer route, I'm going to show you guys right now. So let's go back to where we have one suffix and prefixes cannot be changed. We would actually use a Veiled Exalted Orb. This is a 50-50. It's either going to hit Dex and give us a suffix, Dex and give us a prefix, or the suffix, prefixes cannot be changed, and one or the other. So the best outcome would be if we hit Dex and we hit a prefix. So we didn't, but it still worked out because we hit the prefix mod and it's guaranteed to unveil fizz damage. One of the fizz damage. You can get maim, poison, or I forgot what the other one is, or blind. The best outcome would be if we were to hit it and it were to take the Dex, hit a veiled prefix, and leave us with prefixes cannot be changed, because this would have saved us 2 div in this step. But that's likely not what's going to happen. So let's go back. Let's slam. Oh, let's do prefixes cannot be changed. We're going to Veiled Exalted Orb. Taken, this is 4 div, so 4 div versus 5C, but once again, this can never be bricked. So in this case, we actually hit the ultimate craft again. Let's go again. Hit it again. I want to show you guys like the worst outcome. So veiled prefix, we're going to unveil, and boom. So now we have our prefixes done and they are set, unable to be bricked. So now what we want to do is craft prefixes cannot be changed again. Another 2 div. Like I said, this isn't a cheap craft. And once again, this is the riskier one or the safer one. You could do Reforge Speed, which will give you an attack speed modifier, but has a small chance of filling up your suffixes. Very small. As you can see here, we're rarely filling it up. Even here, with 2 mods, we're still okay, because as long as we have 1 open suffix, we can always craft this and we can fix the board, right? But if, say we were to fill it up, that's the only risk about this way, but it is way cheaper because it only costs like 100 yellow to do this. If you wanted to do the guaranteed no brick way, you would have to do add remove, which is 15,000 yellow juice, which is about 2 divines a try, until you hit an attack speed that you are comfortable with. So as you can see here, we hit tier 2 there, we go again, we hit tier 3 here, we go again, tier 1. So this would be the best outcome. I personally don't ever go for the add remove. It is really expensive. I just go for the reforge risky bisky, and but that's just me. Depends on how rich you are. So we're gonna hit this. We hit tier 3. We're not happy with that. We're gonna go prefixes cannot be changed again. We're gonna hit it again. We hit tier 7. We're gonna go again. Tier 5. So we're gonna keep going. It is expensive because every time is 2 divines till we hit tier 2 and above, just like this. From here, we're going to craft on the best mod for most melee builds, which is damage per endurance charge. These can be unlocked now through maps, so by the time you have enough currency to craft this, I'm sure you have this craft unlocked. And from here, you can either keep it the way it is if you're happy with this, or you can spend the extra 2 div to go for the Warlord Slam. Out of 5 of the Warlord mods, 4 of them will benefit your build. The only one that won't would be weapon range, so we're going to go for the Slam. And we hit actually the best option in my opinion, Culling Strike, which is 11% chance to hit. That's what I have on my build. But you could, usually you're going to get Maim with a little bit more fizz damage, or you're going to get attack speed if you've killed recently. That is also, oh, it's also 11%. I guess Culling it the same weight. Okay, so as long as you don't hit weapon range, you're pretty much good. If you do, like this, if you do, and you're, unfortunately, if you do hit something you don't like, aka the weapon range, which is the only mod I would say in this pool that is bad, unfortunately, you're kind of stuck with it. Nothing you can do. You can't Warlord Slam. You'd have to start the axe over again. So whatever you final slam with, take it, because unless you hit weapon range, you're going to get a power spike regardless. So that is the crafting video. That's how I crafted my in-game axe. Unfortunately, mine messed up. When I went for the prefixes cannot be changed veiled orb, I actually hit a suffix, but I unveiled endurance charges and I hit it with attack speed tier 2 already. So I was like, you know what? Let me just craft on fizz damage, even though I lose out on about 15% because the craft for it from the veiled orb can go up to 139, but I was happy with the additional 2% to my endurance charges, and then I slammed Culling Strike, which kind of sealed the deal for me. If you want to take it a step further for this axe, you could go and buy I forgot what it's called, but it's the Tempering Orb. They're not too bad this league, actually. They're usually 5 to 6 div, only 1.18 div per, so you can go for that and go for an additional 8% fizz damage, which would topple you up. So hope this helped, guys. This is how I crafted my Volcanic Fissure of Snaking endgame axe. I will probably just stay with this. I don't think I'm going to upgrade any more for the axe. I'm pretty content with where it's at, and honestly, I want to play a different build soon, so I'm just farming for my next build. But if you guys want to know how to craft anything else or anything that you guys are trying to run right now, please let me know in the comment section down below. And please leave a like and subscribe. I want to hit 1,000 subscribers, hopefully, before people quit this league. We're at 570 right now. So thank you guys so much. It's been your boy, TheGamingWaad.